welcome back to the Soundation. This is Swaythoven, and I have some mixing tips actually. And this mix isn't perfect because, well, kind of just woke up and made this beat, and I just uploaded that video of me making this. But I did do like some mixing in there, right? But then I took like a 5 minute break, which is like a big tip that I have to take breaks, right? It's okay to like actually revisit a project like in the next hour or something like that, in my opinion, especially when you're mixing. And another tip I have is like start it in the morning. I think make stuff in the morning as soon as you wake up. All right, but like I think when I first started making beats and stuff like that, I realized that I wanted sounds. You know what I'm saying? This is the foundation. I wanted sounds in my stuff. I wanted everything to fit. And the ear can only hear so much stuff, but at the same time, we can hone in on certain frequencies, which means certain sounds, right? And that provides depth and stuff. So me saying that, I just want you to know I didn't provide that much depth in this because I actually could have added reverb to like I guess certain things. And it's like I'm not the best at mixing with like vocals and stuff. Like a lot of people have super long videos about mixing. I don't. The biggest tip I have though, all right, and this is something now that I have to work on, is like the low end, like this, like right here. Like I do have some stuff. Let's see, like. Let's see. To me, that sounds amazing. All right. The problem is I listened to that earlier with bigger speakers in like a truck. That shit sounded trash. Those 808s were absolutely crazy, right? So a mixing tip that I have for you, and you're gonna see this, is like focus on that low end. So now I know that like a couple days ago I started practicing gain staging, not just turning these volume faders down, right? Gain is like if I were to put, I see people do this, right? But this is basically just the volume. But then you have plugins that do something with gain, which is something like gain plugin, all right? Gain +1 and all that stuff, right? Yeah, it doesn't say volume on the top left now. If you guys were looking at that top left, this is gain right here. Fruity balance, this is volume, right? Two different things. So it's just like, get acquainted with that. Understand that. I can't really tell you the difference. I simply kind of know the difference now. So it's just, that's no joke. Like if your 808s are hitting red on the volume meter, which this is going to do, and I'm going to show you right here, right? Even if I just played the 808, it's crazy. It's always going to do this. And if I turn the volume down, this is still hitting -3, all right? So if I turn the gain down, you feel me? Now it's down there. You feel me? You kind of want your 808 to be like at -7 for real, because when you put it to the master, and which is already have a limiter and stuff on there, but like you can barely hear this. So it's like I turn the fader back up on the volume. Sounds a little bit louder, but that gain, see, it's not clipping anymore into the red. You feel me? That's something that I just recently like learned. So it's just like, this needle should probably still be at -7, and like your kick should be at like let me see. And that gain plugin was free, by the way. Like this kick, crazy. It also sounds trash. I already know this clip. I can just tell now, I feel like. Unless it's not. That'd be cool. It's not. It's going into the red a little bit. When there was two of them playing at the same time, because I'm not having it cut itself, it's going actually straight to 0 most of the time, basically. And the thing is that you still want to turn that down. because like when it hits the master or some shit, you know what I'm saying? You still want to turn that gain down to like -5 or something like that. Um, so that's just a low end tip that I have, right? If like, and you just seen how I did that, right? How I just put the gain plugin on the track and turn the gain down. This is a volume meter, all right? You're not probably gonna be able to get this one, so just download a free one or something like that. And don't put these on every single thing, right? But at the end of the day, the low end, you don't need crazy loud 808s because you will not hear your melody at all. At the same time, you might not have a melody to hear. You feel me? But I like making melodies, so I'm trying to hear the beautiful melodies that I like to make, right? I couldn't hear that one melody right here. I think another mix I have is when I think you want to make everything audible, and that's going to talk about leveling and like literally, you know what I'm saying. But like I said, like percussions. This beat doesn't have that stuff, by the way. I just simply made this, but percussions are right. I think when and you want to start mixing around your low end, by the way, right? And your percussions aren't necessarily low end, but they're still drums and stuff. So I'd say, like, I mean, a mixing tip I have for that. Man, I don't have that open right now. But I usually like to, let's say these were like percussions and all that stuff. I'd create a sub mix, right? I just controlled right click, drag through all of those into a new channel. Right clicked on that new channel, created a sub mix, and I'll call it like drums or something like that. Drum master. Oh, it looks like everything's going into the wrong thing, but it doesn't matter because I right clicked the wrong thing. But basically, on all my drums, right? Pretend this was the drum master that didn't have like the. I mean, I'm probably should get this. I'm probably keeping that. Let me just not make that the drum master. Let's just redo it. Man, this kick sounds titty. But anyway, what I would do, right, and get acquainted to is like compressing the drums, I guess. What this would do is just have them feel like they're all together. And basically, to achieve that, right, you want to do something with like the ratio and compression, or the threshold and the ratio. And like the threshold is when I guess it'll know when the percussions are actually playing or something like that. This doesn't have great visualizations, to be honest, so you kind of have to do it by ear. And even then, dude, compressing. My mixing tip is don't stress about compressing at this point because you're gonna have so many people talk about it to the point where you probably should just figure out yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, look up the general knowledge of it. And here I am saying it when I'm supposed to be giving it to you, but like, I can't talk about compression. I'm not gonna lie. I can just say apply it to your drums. But the threshold is basically when it's going to register it. The ratio is how strong it's going to be when it registers it. You know, the attack is basically like when it hits, right? Literally when it hits the transients, like this right here. Oh my gosh! Now the snare I don't even know where the snare is playing. If anything, the attack is that first sound of that snare. The snare is a fast sound, but the attack is the first millisecond of that sound. So what a compressor would do is if you have a fast attack, is basically turn that down. But you don't really want to turn the transients down. You want to probably compress what comes after the attack. All right, that's why you turn fast attack off, or just don't have a fast attack on your percussions. And you want the release to be a little high up. or maybe like a little low. Depends what you want to do. Depends what you want to hear, honestly, because depending on that right there determines like a pumping within your stuff, and that can be rhythmic. That's all ear stuff. I'm saying that's why I don't want to talk about compression because it's just like this other side is just the equalizer. But that's my tip for percussions, I guess. There's this one plugin called Smack Attack. You could probably gently apply this to stuff. I mean, I just don't think you guys can be able to get this. So I don't know any free versions of this. So I probably shouldn't be shown. So never mind. But this right here, this is just a compressor. You can compress it anywhere. Mixing tips, man. You got people telling you to like equalize everything and stuff like that. That stuff gets boring. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so a mixing tip that I have for like melodies and stuff like that with different instruments is you're gonna want to like use an equalizer. All right, I don't even know how equalized is right. You feel me? But the thing is that a lot of these sounds you might use have frequencies. Those little things you see right there, that movement, those are the frequencies. But like the piano, which you see right here, is not the only thing that has that. So does this vocal, that also has frequencies, and some of them are in the same range, right? So if we can kind of see where they might be overlapping, and there's plugins that make you see this easier. I just don't have them on right now. It's just like in general, like right between like 300 and like 750, right, for the vocal, there are some harmonics. I hope those are the right terms. So if we were go here, right, in between like the 300 and like the 750 of the piano, right, we can turn that down, right, so we can hear the choir better. You'll literally hear that in so many places of just turning certain ranges down to hear the other ranges better, because that's what you got to do. You feel me? At this point, because the low end, there just be so much in it, I just basically take the low end off of everything. You're gonna see other people just say, oh yeah, dude, like they make this little thing with their stuff, bring it all in basically, because it's all mid range. Yeah, you're gonna hear that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are all the rave about mid range because, well, technically there are three ranges: low, mid, and high, right? But the mid range is like that beautiful stuff you want to be able to hear, and like these beats that I have, right? These all the stuff that I worked on, I'm gonna have to go back and like remix it, because it's just like there is no mid range. It's all just crazy bass, just pumping, just in your face. So it's just like it's actually ridiculous. I mean, that being said, this doesn't sound that great. I'm gonna have to work on this. This kick is weak. These kicks are weak. I promise you. Except for these ones, I guess. These mixed elite ones. But the ones that are hip hop sound titty. How come Mix Elite didn't give me a kick that was gained stage properly? You know what I'm saying? He wants us to download his stuff. Anyway, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure I don't give panning the stuff right alongside the fact that these harmonics are clashing. Man, I hope that was the right term. But you seen what I'm talking about. You want to pan them, right? They're going to tell you to pan the stuff for perceived loudness because you want to hear the stuff, basically. You know what I mean? Right? If I have like everything just straight to the same center place, right? Not being pan left or right. I mean, I think that's called like mono. I don't even know, but just don't do that trash. You feel me? Um, and a lot of people are gonna say mixing stereo. I don't even know. Like, I mean, so here's this, right? Let's see if that same technique, creating a submix, peep, right? Create a submix. Who cares what it's called? FA. If I put a stereo imager, I used to like putting stereo imagers on stuff, but like. You kind of hear it gets a little bit wider. That's why I just narrowed down. And it sounds cool, but then a lot of things kind of shift, like, and I haven't figured out a way to like. I mean, then you have to like use stuff like this. I think like stereo shapers. I think, bro, and then it started becoming like a mid-side processing thing, and then I was like, all right, like I'm just ruining everything at this point. You feel me? So the mixing tip that I have is like, just don't go too far down anything crazy, because it's like when you see other people mixing videos, you don't really see all this stuff that you would think that you have to put on. You know what I mean? It would appear that a lot of the stuff is simple, you know. As long as like, honestly, like I guess the levels are right, you know, and I guess the samples are good. So it's just like, you know, I don't give good tips. I'm terrible at giving tips. I'm terrible at this. I'm sorry, but it's a new year, so maybe if there's anything in particular that people want something tips on, let me know down in the comments. That's the first time I ever said that. Oh yeah. Like and subscribe for more. Yeah. Who cares about that shit?